Welcome back to the Fanspeak Network and another episode of Sibling Showdown. We are going to be doing our fourth big board in just 1 minute. That's right. It's Thursday, and I am joined by my sibling, my brother, Steve. And every Thursday, we are going to do a live sibling showdown draft. I'll get into some of our other fun scheduling stuff in a minute. But Steve, how are you doing today? You ready to rip I said fourth big board. It's not our fourth big board. We both have plenty of other drafts going. It's our fourth big board together. How are you doing?
I'm good. You don't want to know how many big boards I'm already down.
How many? Well, you have tons of slows going. How many?
Oh, yeah.
How many do you have completed? How many? Because you don't do many fast.
No. So completed, and most of these were slows. And this is big board and little board. I think I'm at like 20 some.
Okay. But
complete.
I know you.
And I maxed the war room also, but those are all slows, and I don't think any of those have completed yet.
Yeah. So when I pull over, the draft and basketball overlay, I did the update. It looks awesome. And my exposures, it's only through I want to say 15 drafts or something like that that are completed. I'm like you, I do more, but much less slows. I think I have 5 in progress and 20 done or something like that. I'll look that up. But yeah, I know from an earlier conversation, you have 70 slows going.
For football, yeah. And then I have a ton of baseball also.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And I know you're ripping a ton on drafters too. So if you see Steve in the slow streets, say hi at Steve Speak. Let's say hi to the chat. We've got always appreciate seeing Chiato Fantasy Football. Good luck today. Thank you. Meg Rob, stop bullying Steve behind the scenes, Meg. I mean, again, it's like, it's like you watched our childhood growing up. Love it, Mike Rob. We got our guy Andrew in here. Always got to say him. You got that's right. I'm so not good with hockey, but I don't even know. This is an NHL thing, right?
Instead of an all-star break, they did this 4 nations thing.
But USA, go USA.
Yeah.
Right. So, okay. So instead of, it was USA, Canada, and who were the other 2 nations?
Finland and Sweden.
Didn't know. I am so not a hockey person. I'm the least hockey person ever.
Have you try and figure out where those countries are on a map?
Okay, yeah, but you go USA. Go USA. We got Steven in here, who I know was in the draft because I joined Andrew and Justin at a draft last night. He was in there. Great to see you, and of course our guy. We always love seeing Tyler. Well, howdy. Always good to see Tyler DQ, who won our $50 giveaway to celebrate Steve's
right?
$100 giveaway to celebrate Steve's massive 4th place big board finish to kick off the season. Always good to see DQ. And sorry, but yes, I do know that it's now an NHL thing. So go USA. Stephanie Miller, good evening. Always good to see Steph. Love to see it. So if any of you, we are going to talk for 5 or 10 minutes tops, and then I'll try to put a timer on me, and then we will jump into a live big board draft if you want to jump into a big board draft with us. But Steve, I wanted to ask you how many drafts you had going. I knew it was a lot, but I had tweeted the other day, and I'll pull it over, about I had ripped a fast draft, and it was fun. I just had fun, and I liked it, and it had 8 rookies, and I was like, well, that was a lot, but then I remembered, the only reason I have access to who won and their lineup, and obviously your lineup and the other top lineups, Saints to Death, who usually joins us in here, it was 3rd place, so I see some of the top big board lineups only because you were in the finals and you finished 4th. Well, the 1st place guy had 10 rookies. I think the 2nd place guy had 0. I think Saints to Death had 4 or 5. You had 3. The summary of the story is, and I more tweeted it for the people who are you can never win drafting 8 or 10 rookies. Well, you can. The guy who did won with 8 or 10 rookies. That doesn't mean I'm saying that you should draft 8 or 10 rookies. I'm just saying that it can work. So yeah, I tweeted this, and this was my lineup. I really love this lineup. So I did 3-6-8-3. But I hammered hammered the position of strength, the rookie running back. So I got McCaffrey, and then I got Amarian Hampton, Caleb Johnson, our guy Scadaboo, who I have tons of, Ollie Gordon, and then Antonio Gibson, because I got Drake May. And then Amon-Ra St. Brown, DJ Moore, Jameson Williams, Jalen McMillan, Travis Hunter. Okay, that was 2. I let him fall. I know I should let him fall further. Whatever. This was like a week ago. Jaden Higgins, Jack Beck. These are 2 of our favorite rookies. Colston Loveland, and then the other 2 were vets. So it got like a ton of like comments and questions and that kind of stuff. And then I do want to, because I think yes, this was the winning lineup. Let's see if I can blow this up. This was the winning lineup because multiple people asked, well, what was the winning lineup from last year? Okay, I guess I can't blow it up. But the winning lineup from last year, big board, this is, of course, from the Moose 54 or the Moose 4, Jalen Hurts, Jaden Daniels. So Jaden Daniels, Jonathan Taylor, Jerome Ford, Bucky Irving, Ray Davis, Marshawn Lloyd. So again, you're going to see some of these doing nothing. Damian Pierce, Roshan Johnson, AJ Brown, Malik Neighbors, Brian Thomas Jr., JSN, Xavier Worthy, DeAndre Hopkins, Mario Douglas, Ricky Pearsall, Hollywood Brown, Jacob Cowing, who did nothing, Trey McBride, Brock Powers. That's 10. So that's how we got. So it was a fun tweet. It was a fun tweet exchange. Again, the point of that tweet exchange, initial tweet of me drafting 8 rookies, and any interaction I had with people was to share the winning lineup. It was interesting to look at. It's interesting to look at your 4th place lineup because I know very well from swaying out with you, it easily could have been the winning lineup. If Terry McLaurin had Zacchaeus this game, or what was the other one? If Amon-Ra got the last touchdown, Steve is the big board winner. One of those sliding doors happened. Steve's the big board winner of 3 rookies. So again, there were guys in the top 10, top 20 with 0, 1, 2, 5, 6. It ranges. The whole point is, and that's the thing I love the most about basketball, you can win in so many different ways. I think for me personally, with all this, is obviously the guy who won, all 4 of his rookie receivers counted that week because rookie receivers last week were huge. Jaden Daniels counted that week. So I'm going to lean in. I mean, obviously this quarterback class is not it, as far as quarterbacks, rookies, not that you can't draft Cam Ward or some of the other rookie quarterbacks. And I do like some rookie receivers, but the rookie running backs are great. And I know people have different varying opinions on them, but I'm probably going to lean into that. Like that's where I'll probably, and then rookie tight ends and running backs are the 2 places that I'll probably draft the most rookies. Okay. I talked too much. What are your thoughts on all that before we jump into a draft?
Yeah, no, I mean, like you said, last year, the guy, and he took, I think, 5 rookie wide receivers, 4 of them counted. And it's this year you can do maybe 4 receivers, but I'd probably do more running backs. Like you had 4 rookie running backs in yours, and that makes sense because here's the thing: not only the guys at the top who are going to pretty much walk into starting roles or significant roles, but even a guy later, Ollie Gordon, Cam Scadaboo in the middle, but guys like Ollie Gordon, Giddens, Neal, a few others, handful of others later. They're competing for, number 2 roles with guys who probably don't have them, like if you look around the league right now. So, or could just make things really difficult. And so, the easy example is Keandre Miller. I mean, people are drafting him as the Saints' presumptive number 2 running back. It's a new regime. He was not good last year. And, was significantly worse than Kamara. And on top of that, it's a new regime. The old regime didn't like him, but who's to say the new one will? And it's just Saints don't even have to make a big investment. They use a 4th or 5th rounder, who's probably better than Keandre Miller.
Right.
I mean, last year, 2 of the best running backs were later round guys, Bucky Irving and Tyron Tracy. So, if that was happening last year in one of the weakest draft classes, this is infinitely better.
Yeah. And I just think there's some, I mean, obviously we know like Dallas, the Raiders, the Chargers, Denver are like places like, oh my God, whoever goes there, like if it's like an early guy, like obviously Scadaboo Scadaboo on the brain is insane. Sorry, I meant Ashton Genty, Amarian Hampton, Caleb Johnson, obviously, but there could be some of those that get like a second or third round guy that just works. So, and then there's Vikings, and then there's teams like that. I think that people don't think about. Like, I don't think that Brian Robinson, the guys were talking about on the show last night, I don't know that Brian Robinson's job's safe. The Jaguars guys with a new coach, and we don't need to go deep into because we do need to start a draft, but there's a lot of other teams, Jaguars, Washington, Steelers, that like just whoever is their starter now might not be their starter. But,
well, and even if it is just a secondary role, the point is like you're drafting versus other secondary guys, like in the 150s, 160s, like where you took Ollie Gordon. Like, sure, Blake Corum's probably the number 2 in the Rams, but if Ollie Gordon goes somewhere, he has starting, like we know Corum has no starting potential outside of injury. And you can start the draft, or we can just keep talking.
Yeah, before we do that, let me do a couple of quick announcements. Number 1, road to 500 subs. We just need like 50 more. I know we got our guy Andrew in chat that mentioned 46 more subs for a $500 giveaway stream. We're going to have a $500 giveaway party of all sorts of fun stuff, $500 of giveaways. And I know our friend Tyler just tweeted that out. So thank you very much for that. I fixed the bottom. So road to 500 subs, $500 giveaway. Hopefully we can hit that in the next couple of weeks and do a fun $500 giveaway party in March. So stay tuned for that. Help us get there. Obviously, like this episode, but if you're not subscribe. You'll know when we go live. We have shows essentially every single weekday. I think the guys are doing their show Sunday this week, but every single weekday, we're going to have a show from strategy shows to live drafts. And then we'll just keep ramping it up throughout now and throughout, rest of spring and summer and all of best ball season. So best ball shows almost every single day of the weekdays. Weekdays is very exciting. Of course, we got fanspeak.com. You can check out that. Our Steve's rankings will be up next week, and we will be launching a Fanspeak best ball subscription in hopefully late March sometime. So lots of fun stuff coming up, but be sure you're subbed here. Tell a friend. Once we get to 500, we're having a party, and we hope you join us for that. Our guy, Tyler in here, or excuse me, Jamie. Hi, people. Always good to see Jamie. And can't wait for hot bus ball summer, Tyler. Tyler, can't wait to do a lot of streams with you. Did a lot last year, or many last year, and always a blast. And I cannot wait to do some streams with you. We got to get into the streets together here. So yes, let me bring over now that those announcements are out of the way, but thank you guys for reminding me and for sharing. The $500 party will happen hopefully in March if you guys can help us get to 500 subs. So let me share Underdog, and then I will jump in on my phone, and don't worry, I'll give you guys like a countdown. If anybody wants to join us, I'm joining on my phone and I will count it down. So give me a minute here. Let's see. Okay, so we are doing the big board. So if anybody wants to jump into the big board with us, I'm getting in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Enter. It says draft scene starting soon. So I apologize if you were not able to get in with us. It looks like unless you had a quick trigger finger, that I was one of the last ones, unfortunately. So let me see. Okay, so big board starting. Yeah, so let me see as we completed. Yeah, I have 18 completed. I have like 5 others going. That's what I have. And then we're doing our 4th sibling showdown tonight. So let me see if I see anybody in the names. Okay, we got Emo Cowboy. We got our guy Tyler. Unfortunately, I don't know if I recognize any of the other names. We have it looks Stephanie said looks like maybe we've got an overflow draft. So if on my bad countdown, no, I'm so sorry that I got in one of the last ones, but we're in with Tyler. He said he gets in these chats, he gets in these drafts, and then he's caught in a stream draft. But no, Tyler, it'll be fun to be in a draft with you. Steph, if you're in another draft, let us know if you're in with some other Fanspeak folks.
Let us know how it's going.
Yeah. Okay. She didn't get this one. Wow, he was sitting in this lobby for 10 minutes. Jeez. As Andrew said, iron sharpens iron. Okay, Lucky Jaja, is that don't think he's in. I think
he's just being lucky to get in the draft or something.
Oh, okay. Damn. Okay. Well, I'm bummed that we couldn't get Stephanie says make me proud, Tyler. So we got the draft started. Kyron is soft and floppy. Leave it alone. Always love Tyler in here. Always love it. Okay, so
Okay, we're almost up.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so we're at the 9th spot. Obviously, I'm just going to queue up the receivers. I honestly can't remember what I meant to look back at our other 3 drafts. I never recognized Disbanded Brotherhood. Tyler's on the clock now. He takes Nico. We got Puka and Amon-Ra there. I have like 1 share of each, basically. I know I have more Brian Thomas. I must have taken Brian Thomas and some slows because I know I have more Brian Thomas. So, I mean, I'm fine with either. So the guy before us takes Puka. Yeah. I'm absolutely fine with Amon-Ra at 9. So, and quite honestly, Amon-Ra neighbors, I'm fine with either of them, quite honestly. I like mixing that up. So, all right. So
after we make the pick, I just want to finish my point.
Yes. And then I need to get the board fixed a little bit after we make our pick. So we're coming around, at 16. I mean, I do love the running backs in this area. I assume Neighbors will be gone. Yes, he goes there at 11. 12th pick is up. And then, of course, you got all these running backs here. So likely one should make it back to us. Henry goes. Though there are 3 ahead of us. Oh, there you go. Someone took Lamar. Someone wanted Lamar a little early. Okay, so H.A. and Genty. I actually don't have any that can't be possible. I must have them in the slow. I'm going to push for Genty because I don't have them yet. As you can see, I have, again, these are only my completed. I've got 6, what did I say? 5 slows going. So I'm going to push for Genty just because I want some. I understand, like, what's that?
It's a good thing to want.
Yeah. As you can see, I have 4 shares of McCaffrey, 1 share of a chain. So it's more just wanting to balance out. I want to balance out all these running backs as you get that like 8th, 9th, and you come back around and you can get a running back. I want to balance out all those. So, just want some Genty in the portfolio. Didn't have them yet. So let me, fix the board, and you can go ahead and finish your thought because
just the simple point of and for any of these later round running backs, or mid to late round running backs, is like a guy like Blake Corum going in the 150s, 160s. If Kyron gets hurt, great, he's got a ton of value. He could be usable for a couple weeks as is, but he is not going to be a clear starter outside of a serious injury to Kyron. So a guy like Ollie Gordon, DJ Giddens, somebody like that could enter the year as like a 50-60% guy, like no question. And so that's just kind of upside that you're getting. Not that you have to take those guys, or guys like Corum don't have value, like clear number 2 backs don't have value, but it's just worth keeping in mind. Right now we don't know, and where if these guys get a good landing spot, just to keep using Ollie Gordon as an example, since that's who you took, if he ends up with a clear high leverage landing spot, once we get to the big board, he's going to go way up.
Right.
And where Corum's value will probably stay pretty similar. So it's also a way to potentially get some value.
Yeah, that I was going to say, that's something, just bouncing off the idea off you, is that I was going to do now, is to just take more shots on rookies now for 2 reasons. Number one, if they get good land, now some of them could get bad landing spots and go the other way, but if they get good landing spots, they're going to go up. I mean, a lot of these rookies are going to go up after next week, after the combine, but also we have 20 rounds too. Like if you look at all the examples, we could talk about more after our picks, but like, if you look at all the examples of the big board, like top 10, there were a lot of misses, you know what I mean? And that goes for the first place team, your team, the Saints team, Saints to death, all, in 20 rounds, you're going to have that because we're drafting 6 months before the season starts. We're drafting, so you're going to have some misses, and you right. Yeah. Before free agency, obviously big board will still be going on as free agency is going. Okay. We're on the clock, and then so at the top of the board, Chase Brown, DJ Moore, James Cook, Kyron. I am a little bit nervous about Kyron, I will say. And you and I don't see eye to eye on James Cook. I haven't taken Chase Brown. These are the Chase Brown, Kyron, both make me a little nervous. And James Cook, I think, I just don't honestly love the third round, but you're definitely higher on than me. I would much rather take DJ Moore, but as you can see, I've taken 27%. So,
Yeah.
but I know we've done another stream draft, which is James Cook. Did you want to mix it up with Kyron? Did you want to go like Mike Evans, scroll down?
Let's mix it up with Kyron.
I mean, there is talk. I mean, he's going to get less, he could get less work this year, obviously. And I mean, if his fumbling issues do become more of a problem, I don't love him in this range.
No, I can almost assure that he gets less work. I mean, he was having games where he got 95% of the carry, 95% of the snaps. I mean, he for sure is going to get less work, but he can still be valuable in touchdown and such. The one thing with the Rams, and because of investing in Corum last year, I don't think they're the type of team who will invest in this top end running back class.
Right.
And so Kyron can stay ahead of a guy like Corum. Is he going to stay ahead of a guy like Junkins or Henderson or Scatterboo? No, probably not. So it actually benefits him in a way.
Okay, I get what you're saying. I see what you're saying. Yeah, and I do want to mix, as we're doing more of these big boards and doing more volume, I do want to mix in, just like I hadn't gotten Genty yet. I do want to mix in, even though I'm a little nervous, like Chase Brown, they could draft someone else. Kyron Williams, but like you said, that takes a little bit of risk away. It's like he probably will lose a little more work, but I honestly don't love the third round a ton. I know you're really high on Xavier Worthy. I've only taken, I think I have him in a slow draft or two, but I took him in the live draft last night with the guys. He's at the top of the board. JMO I had queued up because he was my big board, my Bulldog hero in my 5th place Bulldog team. Love JMO. He just went. And then I have the 2 other quarterbacks that typically go in the 4th round, Jaden Daniels, for, of course, our Washington, and Hurts queued up. I know you and I are low on Flowers. So Jaden Daniels goes. Did you want to take Worthy? I'm fine getting some more Worthy.
I think taking Worthy makes a ton of sense. Likely Kelsey's retiring. The Rice injury sounds not great.
Yeah.
And everyone else is a free agent. Marquise Brown, Hopkins, and Juju, and maybe somebody's coming back. Probably most likely would be Juju of that bunch. And sure, I think they add, but Worthy got better down the stretch. And I've talked about this before, is, a lot of times people talk about the post-bump rookie buy. And, for guys like have earlier mid buys, sometimes it comes they still have that bump, late season bump, but sometimes comes a little later. And that's kind of, I think, what you saw with Worthy. Yeah. It wasn't like immediate right after the Chiefs bye week, but boy, those last 4 or 5 games of the season and through the playoffs and the Super Bowl. So we're talking half a year. Yeah. He was awesome. I mean, he was really good and definitely kind of became Mahomes' number 1. And I don't see any reason that changing.
We got who owns Sup fam, good to see you. Steph says don't get banned. Tyler said especially cheap rookies, plenty of fragile ADP of the mid to late vets. That's how I feel. Yeah, exactly. And that's basically what you were saying. And couldn't agree more, Tyler. Yeah. Go ahead, and I have to see what he said. The room forced my hand.
No, so I think the Zay Flowers, but I think like Tyler was saying, like these later rookies, and sure, I think the early rookies have their value as well, particularly in the running back room. But it's these later rookies, and talked about already a little with running backs. Same with some of these receivers. You can still get Jack Beck in the 180, 190 range. Jaden Higgins pretty late. Jalen Royals late. These are going to be 2nd, 3rd round guys. Pretty look like plug and play type guys. Maybe sure. Some of these guys fail? Absolutely. But I think some are going to be good, valuable players. And also, same at the tight end position. Like there's so many tight ends that, are with this strong of a class are going to get upgraded. Including some guys that we've been high on in the past, like say a Chiga Konkwu or something like that. I mean, Titans use a 3rd rounder on, Taylor or Arroyo or Fannin. Like, next thing you know, that's the starter.
I mean, Chig did have a strong end to the year. He helped me in my Bulldog team. And he had some good coach speak.
He did, but he's also a limited guy, and you also saw that, like Josh Weil and guys like that were getting a fair number of snaps versus him as well. So it's just there's a lot of later fragile tight ends. who or mid to late fragile tight ends. A guy like Cole Kmet, like if they don't bring in anyone else, Cole Kmet's a great pick.
Yeah.
But if they draft somebody, then Cole Kmet's not a great pick. It's kind of like that.
All right, let's see. Tyler goes Cortland Sutton. We're up in 1. We got 0-2-2 going. There are a lot of running backs here. I haven't taken Chuba yet.
Chuba or Kamara, I think, are the call there.
So I know there's Waddle, Olave.
Yeah, I just right now.
Okay, Chuba went. Damn, I cannot get Chuba. Every time I try to take him, he gets sniped from me. Okay, I know you're high on Kamara, and you were correct last year, and you're not nervous about anything with new coaching staff for another year older. You are still very much in.
You got a better coaching staff with Kellen Moore, though. I don't think it was all Kubiak's fault last year. Just literally everyone got injured. Yeah. They also lose the one guy who actually did vulture him, Taysom Hill. He's not going to be back. And as you see, last year,
his injury going to have him out basically most of the year.
Oh yeah, I don't think he plays.
Really?
Yeah, might even be a cut guy. But Kamara,
yeah, I wanted one Chuba.
When you pull up his stats, he had 231 points, which that's very good. And also he did that in 14 and a half weeks because he got injured middle of week 15, right before halftime in the Commanders game, which he was actually crushing. And then he didn't play the final 3 weeks of the year. So, I mean, he, if you look on a points per game basis, he was even considerably higher.
Okay. Hampton, the rookie, just went. So at the top of the board, up in 2, we have Jerry Jeudy, Godwin, and then we had a bunch of running backs. I will say, if we did want to get weird, and I saw it in the draft last night, we could do another running back and then pump the brakes and do like a hyper fragile version where we only do 5. If you love, and I know you do love the running backs here, because I'm a little worried about Chris Godwin coming back. So below Connor is Jaden Reed, who I know you're very high on, Calvin Ridley, Luther Burden, who I know you're very high on. So I'll just queue up all the running backs and queue up Jaden Reed and Calvin Ridley, Luther Burden.
So might as well just pick somebody.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was on the clock.
You want to go? Let's go rookie, either Johnson, Henderson, or Burden.
It's okay. Do really quick. Do you want to do like a hyper fragile version?
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do Henderson.
Oh my God, it keeps flipping.
Oh, it's not working.
I mean, like getting back into the stream flow is just have to get used to it. Get back in the groove here. Okay, so I love Caleb Johnson. I want more Henderson because he's so explosive, and I need more Burden because I know he's like your favorite receiver at cost. We're 16 picks away. Let's talk this through. So basically this happened yesterday in the show with Andrew and Justin. A guy in the 4 spot started with Gibbs and hit 5 running backs right in a row, 5 running backs, and then he stopped. Now, the only thing I didn't agree with is he got some good mid-round quarterbacks. By the way, we're doing a mid-round quarterback show that'll be up on the channel tomorrow because there are a ton of good mid-round quarterbacks. He took 4. That part I didn't agree with, and I didn't necessarily wasn't in love with his receiver picks, but my Bulldog team, the finals Bulldog team, was a hyper fragile build where I went 3 in a row. Obviously different like landscape last year, but I got Lamb and then 3 in a row, 2, 3, 4, 4th round with Saquon, Henry, Jacobs. Obviously it's different this year, but we in this particular one did what? 2 in the 2nd and 3rd, and then got a receiver, and then got 2 more in the 5th and the 6th. Mm-hmm. So essentially what I had done in an 18-round draft in the Bulldog was I did, 3 in the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, and then I did 1 more like in like the 10th or 11th or some 12th. I don't know, somewhere in the mid rounds. And then I was done. And so I did a 3, 4, 8, 3. And I loved it. And my receiver, it was like a Lamb in the 1st, McLaurin in the 5th, and then just hammered receivers then. And I absolutely loved it. Now, you have to hit on the right receivers too. And obviously your early running backs have to come through. But I think in a 20-round draft, what you could do is do a hyper fragile with just 5, and we have 4 and get one like 1 more middle round, and then just focus. And you and I right now like the whole late round tight end build. and we just focus on getting our receivers and quarterbacks now for a while, and kind of like a 20-round hyperfragile build. What do you think of that?
Yeah, no, I'm on board. And I think dude, nine receivers is probably the way to go here.
Yeah,
And
so you do 3, 5, 9, 3. Probably, yeah. I like it. So, so Mike Robb said, "Isn't hyperfragile what Andrew calls his bedroom moves?" Oh my God, Mike Robb kills me. Tyler, do the eyeballs? Hysterical. Always love the banter in the chat, and we appreciate you guys for joining us. Absolutely love it. So so basically, I kind of got the idea yesterday with the guy doing that hey, you can kind of do your own hyperfragile in a 20 round draft too. Number one. Number two, I do think these big board 20 round drafts are the times to get creative and build structures and stuff like that you might not be able to pull off as well in an 18 round draft once that starts, obviously here in 2 months. Okay. 81st, we're back up at 81. Obviously we're looking receivers. And these are kind of some of the vet running backs that make me a little more nervous. So I'm totally fine with receivers here. So obviously we'll get one of McMillan or Jacoby Myers if you wanted one of them. A little further down, I know you're very high on Josh Downs. So we're up. Do you want to take McMillan?
Let's actually go Downs.
Why? Can't we get him? We might be able to get him back around.
Well, it sounds like Chris Godwin could be back, so I do think McMillan would be more capped in that. And for a build like this, we need to shoot for some upside.
Okay. Also floor too, I guess.
Sure, but
yeah.
I think we just need some upside. And look, I still like McMillan, but I think he's a guy who, could fall a little bit if Chris Godwin comes back. We'll know in a couple of weeks. But
where are you on Matthew Golden, the rookie Matthew Golden?
Yeah,
I know you I know your favorite rookie at cost is Burden, but where are you on Golden? Well, he just went, but so you like him? You have been taking him in this range?
Oh, absolutely. I like Matthew Golden. I view him more as the fifth rookie receiver behind Burden and Mbuka. And Travis Hunter might not even play wide receiver. We'll have to see how that all plays out. But when you factor in that, I think Golden is likely a first rounder. I know some people are a little higher. I think he's just a smooth route runner. Some people will comp him to McConkey in that kind of sense, but I don't think he's the same sort of juice as McConkey. So I think he's probably more capped in his upside, but he's a solid guy.
McMillan falling, are you fine? You falling 11 picks, and I understand things are changing, and it probably is because of the Godwin thing, but I'm fine taking him here as our fourth receiver. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm good with that. Getting some value there, and I know it's only a round difference, but I do feel better. Further back.
Well, the good call on that, because I definitely thought the opposite, and I had heard the soft news about Godwin, and these are the kind of things that I need to apply better. So, good job on that, Steve. So there, we now have 0-4-4 going into the after 8 and going into the 9th round. So let's catch up with the chat. So Tyler said down Shaheed or Golden or Cup. I guess Nick Castellano in chat, and he says Golden. And you just talked about Golden. Yeah. How would you rank those guys, Steve?
Probably Downs, Golden, Shaheed, and then Cup.
Okay. Gotcha.
I will say, look, Colts are the toughest team to figure out because they essentially have 4 receivers for 3 spots. They might, invest heavily in the tight end and say Tyler Warren or a Loveland or somebody in the draft. And they still want to be a run first team with Jonathan Taylor, as they should. And then they have a quarterback who can't complete the ball 50% of the time. So it's really tough.
We got Tyler and Steph having a nice back and forth in chat. Go ahead.
But I like Downs. I think Downs is the most consistent, and got decent upside. I wonder if Pittman gets traded or something like that. So, it'll be interesting to watch.
Yeah. got to check in and see what Tyler is doing here, or what I want to see what Tyler's draft's looking like. I've been so focused on ours. And love everybody in the chat. We appreciate you joining us in the draft, in the chat. Steve Tyler said started cool on downs, but felt like adjusting. Good to hear from Sharp folks. So I'll move him up. Yeah, no, I feel like it's so funny with like only soft news. I'm already like massively adjusting, rankings and stuff. And by the way, Steve's rankings will be up on the site next week, of course. Then once we launch our best ball subscription, those kind of things will be for the best ball subscription, but you'll have it for free for like a month, which is fun. Then we'll add my rankings, we'll add, and then all sorts of content, Discord, special member only shows or subscription only shows. So we got a lot of fun stuff coming. Can't wait for all that. Okay, let's see what our guy Tyler's doing. So he started Nico, a double elite tight end. That's fun. Again, this is a fun time to be mixing up different builds. Brock Bowers, Trey McBride, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, good old James Conner, love James Conner, Calvin Ridley, love that pick, and of course Kyler Murray with Trey McBride. So I like that.
Conner, so full Arizona.
Yes, sorry, and Connor. Yes, thank you. Good point. And by the way, I'll go back over now. So let's see, a little run on quarterbacks. So that might be something we want to talk about, especially as we're about to tape a mid-round quarterback show after this here. Steve will be back up at 109 and 112. So let's see what Tyler does, and then we'll discuss quarterbacks.
Hoping Goff would come back to us, but that didn't happen.
Yeah. Okay, he goes Bateman. Oh, wow.
Yeah, Baker.
It's like, didn't think that was going to happen. Does this guy have Evans?
I don't know, but he doesn't have a quarterback, so.
That's true. He has 0. Damn it. Okay. Well, my two favorites here that I know we've taken them together already are Herbert and May. Herbert, you can backstack, obviously. But May, I'm obsessed with taking May. I just think we're getting a massive discount. You can tell by my exposure. Which one?
Take May.
Yeah. And then I took May in the draft last night too. So yeah, I mean, obviously, let's see what the lad McConkey drafter's doing. Who took lad? Okay.
Early
Okay, so they took Jaden. So they're on the clock now. So he has 2 shots to get him. So he might, I wouldn't be surprised if he takes Herbert here. If he doesn't, I'm fine backstacking him. When he took Diggs, we'll see on the back. He'll be one before us when we come back up. So if he doesn't, I'm fine taking Herbert and backstacking and just getting 2 solid. I mean, this is exactly what our show is going to be, 2 solid in the mid rounds. But any thoughts on that, Steve?
Yeah, no, that works. I just wanted to see the rest of the board, just see.
Sure. Yeah. So top of the board, Njoku, Charbonnet, Swift, Najee, Herbert, Ken Coleman, Marvin Mims. I really like, not Kelsey, our good old Cam Scatterbu, who we have 61%. That's me. Whoopsies. Keenan Allen. And then you got Goddard, Kraft, and Dak a little later. So,
I'm good with Herbert. I mean, obviously, like Naj could end up with a starting role. Swift, if they don't, depending on.
I think we can wait. I mean, we're only taking one more running back, so
but we don't want to wait too long to only take 5.
Yeah. Okay.
No, go Herbert.
Well, he's probably he didn't. Okay. So that was the lad drafter who passed on Herbert twice. So we're taking him. And got him right around ADP. So we got Drake, May, Justin Herbert. Then we'll get one later. And then we got our 4 early running backs of Genty, Kyron, Kamara, Travion Henderson. Nice little mix there of like young and old. Or, nice mix of vets and rookies, I guess. Amon-Ra, that's what you meant by I was hoping Goff. You were hoping Goff would come back. Worthy, Josh Downs, Jalen McMillan. We were hoping Baker would come. Didn't quite work. We were hoping Goff would come. Didn't quite work. So 2-4-4-0. And then we got a little break here. So let's check out the board, check out the chat. So Yeah. That would have been fun if Goff or Baker would have fallen to us, but I'm totally happy backstacking May and Herbert and getting them in the 9th, 10th round.
Yeah. And, I mean, it really is fine. I mean, we know some, particularly May is easy with Henry.
Yeah, I have a ton of May and Henry.
And Herbert, like we can take a shot on QJ or, maybe just take some shots on rookie tight ends. One could be ending up in the
that's true.
With Chargers, but no, it's look, you stack when you can, but there was a run on quarterbacks, and it's also like we're not going to take Anthony Richardson. That's not a plus EV pick.
No, I don't think he's making it through the year. I wish I knew that this happened. I got 2 Colts receivers last night in the draft with the Andrew Justin. I wish I knew who we'll find out soon who the QB2 is, because I would take it last round, because I just don't think Richardson's making it. Let me catch up on chat really quick. They were talking about Golden and Downs. Tyler said the room keeps taking them from me. And then I know our guy Steven mentioned good team so far and mentioned reviewing. We will definitely review. We did a quick review. We'll definitely do reviews after. Tyler said this team contains no fun. My God, I'm guessing he said don't look at my team, no peaksies. We'll definitely look at those later. And Steph says can't go wrong with Drake May. Have to definitely agree with that. I think, to Steph's point, listen, we love Jaden Daniels. We're Washington fans, and getting him in the 4th round is great. But getting May 4 or 5 rounds later, I just think with Josh McDaniels, we're going to get some really nice rushing floor built in, potential more rushing touchdowns. Used in a much more creative and effective way than last year. And obviously they have money and draft picks, and they're going to build around May on the offense. So I just think I'm not saying he's going to score more than Jaden. I'm just saying I think he could compete with Jaden as a fantasy quarterback, and you're getting him 4 rounds later. So 129. Oh, damn, our guy Dax there, who we love. And then, at top of board, Dax Stroud, Hunter, Spears, Leggett. It's not a range we really like. Ingram, likely. Hollywood Brown, I don't love a lot. Quentin Johnson is later, who obviously is a stack option. So what do you like? I don't
go for likely.
Yeah, I know you like likely. I was going to say there's another
likely or Kincaid.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's a tight end who be on the field. That's what I'm looking for.
Yeah, I really like Loveland too, and I wonder if he goes to the Chargers. Do you want to reach for him, or you want to take likely?
Let's take likely. I think. Look, I really like Loveland a lot, and I think he could be a very, very good tight end. But likely is just improved every year. This could be the year. Even there's some buzz about Mark Andrews getting cut, which they could save $11 million if they do it before the March season starts. And cut or traded. And even if he doesn't, this could be the year that likely just supersedes him as the tight end one, in terms of value. So we're pairing him with the MVP quarterback who just threw for 40 plus touchdowns. There's a lot to go around for likely.
Mm-hmm. I don't really see anything else I love coming up in 3 picks other than, God, I would love 13. Would you take Oh, no, Dak just went. I was going to say, if he fell 13 or 14 spots, that becomes interesting. I was going to say Rashad White might be a good 5th running back, but he just went. The other running backs on the top of the board are not something I'm interested in right now at 136. Do you want to go back to back with Loveland, or do you want to grab QJ with the stack?
Let's see what this guy does. But I would lean Loveland because I do think he's a stud tight end, and and here's the thing, as we mentioned before, Loveland could have a much. Not only are you getting him, 50 picks after Tyler Warren, who's a great tight end prospect, but Loveland could be Denver, could be Chargers, could be.
I mean, it could be Chargers, yeah.
Yeah, it could be a couple of these other,
So you're fine passing on the Quentin Johnson thing, and
and this is the other thing with QJ is I know he exceeded expectations last year, but we also know he was just disappointing. His number of drops, his number of like times he just couldn't get the job done. I think whether it's Loveland and free agent, like Chargers are going to be adding weapons. We know McConkey's going to be the guy, but beyond that, Chargers are adding weapons, and QJ could go from being the kind of the number 2 on that team, and not just number 2 in terms of receiver, but number 2 target guy to 4, 5. So I just think there's some more fragility than I'm taking him some. Don't get me wrong, but I just don't think it's like this given that QJ is locked in.
There's just some funny comments in chat. Mike Rob says, if the Skybu family sees this channel, the Shoups are getting a restraining order. Hysterical. And Tyler says, 1 pick away from a chain and scat. I guess he's getting sniped. Hysterical. Oh my. Good. There's some good banter in the chat. I love it. You love Naked Cowboys. Absolutely love it. And this Tyler is the Naked Cowboy. I mean, we got to see how many topless Tyler streams we get this summer. But yeah, can't wait to do some streams with Tyler. And there's so many good folks in the best ball community. Definitely have to get that started soon as well. So, okay, we do need more receivers. We are going to go quantity over quality, or quantity, by taking 9. So we'll be back up at 153 and 160. So I know Trey Harris is another, just seeing some rookie receivers, is another rookie receiver you really like, right, Steve?
Yeah, no, Trey Harris.
I need to get more of him.
I think Trey Harris should be wide receiver 6 taken. Again, still counting Hunter as a wide receiver, but
right.
I really think, I don't know if he sneaks into the first round, but I think he's that talented, that much high upside. I know there's no guarantee, there's pretty much a general consensus on the top 5 receivers, not necessarily the order, but there's a general consensus on these top 5 guys. After that, it kind of gets wide open. And to me, it's Harris. He would be my 6th guy. And I just think really high upside. I really like just his catch radius, the way, he had some more simplistic routes at Ole Miss, but I think he still ran routes well and got open. And yeah, just I'm excited to see him run at the combine and what his testing numbers are. Because
the combine starts in a week from today, correct? Am I correct? Okay. So we'll talk about more next week. Who do you see potentially as skill players flying up these big boards based on what they do on their combine numbers? Okay, actually, we could talk about that after we go, because this is flying. Tyler is on the clock, and we're up in 2. And if QJ is still there, we're taking him. So we need a receiver. So let's queue up more receivers, though, and look for one more running back potentially as well. I'll throw out Jalen Wright. And then at the top of the receiver board, Romeo Doubs, Isaiah Bond, Amari Cooper. I know you're high on Tillman. And then Restrepo, Dontavian Wicks. But we're at 153, so I don't think we need to scroll too far. Damn. Okay. Tyler's smart. He took QJ. Took the falling value there. Okay. So do you want to get our 5th running back and be done with Jalen Wright, or is there another one that you have in mind as like a 5th running back?
I don't mind Wright. I don't. The one thing is
Okay, we're on the clock. Is there anybody you like at the top of this board, or do you want to take Tillman? I know you like him a ton.
Take Tillman. I really think, if Wright's there on the way back, we can take him then. But
okay, so now we got a 2-4-5-2 going. So even though we went running back heavy, we're just going to draft one more, get 9 receivers. So we'll be back up in 6 picks. Again, top of the receiver board doesn't knock my socks off. I know you like Alec Pierce later.
We already have down, so
yeah, that's true. I did that yesterday though, and I was like, ooh, but I wish I knew hope it's not Anthony Richardson all year, since I have 2 Colts receivers. Wish I knew who the second quarterback was. Okay, at the top of the running back board, Ford, Corum, Ray Davis, Jalen Wright, Algier. I don't know if there's anybody that you're eyeing later to get as that 5th running back.
You know who I wanted to hear?
Who?
Wide receiver.
13 spots early?
Yes, he's going way too late.
I mean, we got to talk about your rankings before they're released. It's alarming how high.
Well, I mean, Hayden Josh just did a thing.
I just saw their video that he's going too late.
Tillman
right?
and Thielen are the receivers going way too late, and I agree. I mean, I'm super high on both of them. Tillman, when Cooper, and even kind of before Cooper got traded,
we're on the clock. You have a choice.
Thielen.
Okay.
We need
receivers. We need receivers. I'm totally fine with that. And I actually just saw part of their show before I jumped on stream, and I laughed at the Adam Thielen thing because I was like, there it is, it's proven.
Yeah. But no, first on Tillman, when Cooper got traded, Tillman was the number 1 receiver. It was not Jerry Jeudy. He's going to be outside X receiver. I know he had a bad concussion. Hopefully comes back, but it's not like even Chris Olave, who's had like 4 concussions in the last like 2.5 years. Tillman has looked good. And I just think there's a lot. He was good very late, like a game or two late the year before as a rookie. And then, last year he seemed buried, but Elijah Moore's probably gone.
Okay, he's a free agent?
Yeah. So it should be just Tillman and Jeudy. And I think Tillman could be the guy. And even if not, even if he is the number 2, 13th round, sign me up. I don't care who the quarterback ends up being. And same for Adam Thielen. I mean, sure, Carolina might look to upgrade at wide receiver, but it's not going to be it's not going to be a major free agent. It's not going to be T. Higgins. Maybe Chris Godwin gets free. But anyways, Leggett showed that he has a lot of work to go. Coker outplayed him, but I don't think either of these guys, I mean, at the end of the year when Thielen came back from injury, he just was really good. And as they mentioned on the show, over the last 2 years, points per game, Adam Thielen is 31 and like 24 in points per game.
Yeah, and he's been drafted the last 2 years, like wide receiver 70 or something like that. I saw that tweet too. Yeah,
and it's just like Bryce Young clearly likes him. So, I just don't think it's a bad pick when you're getting
these young quarterbacks with the old. We saw Jaden Daniels with Zach Ertz, and then Bryce Young with Adam Thielen. It makes sense that they latch onto these bets,
And same Caleb with Keenan Allen. I know some people want to be real down on Keenan Allen, but in 2 less games, he almost produced as much as DJ Moore, and more than Odunze. So it's, look, talent's talent.
Don't know if you just wanted to get our 3rd quarterback, and we don't know stacking partners obviously with him, but and then I don't really love the top of the running back board. I don't know if you're thinking of more like a Justice Hill type for like our 5th running back, which we can get a little later, or another rookie, which would be 3 out of 5 rookies. So I don't know how Tyler Shoup, he sniped us twice with QJ and Darnold, getting that value. Well done. We got Hunter Henry coming up. Yeah. Sorry. Thank God. By the way, after I make this pick, I want to talk about best ball overlay. So don't let me forget that, because I love the new color boxes. Makes it so easy to see your percentages, and there's plenty more you can do. I'm just getting back into it, and I love it. And I've taken 33% Hunter Henry, and it's almost every time with Drake May, but I don't care. That's okay. Because I love that stack. As you talked about the way that Josh McDaniel used Henry when Henry was younger, was very effective. So have to think he'll be in a good position. But yeah, just really quick, as you can see, best ball overlay gives you the stacks, the colors of your 1st, 2nd quarterback. So then you can, obviously so far we've just stacked May and Henry, haven't found a Herbert stack yet. Also gives you your percentages and dollars spent. I have to fix mine because you can get it where you can see the combinations live on the screen. I just needed to do a better refresh before that, but you can see your combination. So we could look, okay, with May and, Amon-Ra, do I have that combination yet? And then see, oh, if I did have that a lot, or May and Henry, okay, who do I have with May and Henry? And then mix up, to really mix your comment. Best Ball Overlay was huge for that this year. Use code Fanspeak. You get $10 off, takes it from 40 to 30. Definitely recommend checking that out. We're back on the clock at 184 with a 2-4-6-3. We're done at tight end. Alec Pierce is falling. And if you want to do two, I know he's one of your, favorite later round receivers. I mean, I did 2 Colts yesterday. And then I think we can wait on a vet. Vet third
would have been the guy that I wanted.
Oh, okay. Okay. So yeah, at the top of the running back board, Eckler, Javonte, Roshan, Mason, Giddens goes. What do you want?
I think we take Pierce. I mean, to me, I don't love having 2 Colts, but look, Pierce is a spike week guy.
It's better than Adonai Mitchell. I know the Underdog Network was talking about, or a show. I'm getting my shows confused, but I'll go back over here since we have a 16 pick break. That Adonai Mitchell, similar to Leggett, did not show a lot last year and was outplayed by the vets, and wouldn't be surprised if that happened this year. I do think Pierce and Pittman and Downs are all ahead of him. So Adonai Mitchell actually went before Pierce, and I'm happy to get Pierce. I know we have 2 Colts without, and we don't know who the quarterback is, because I don't think it's going to be Anthony Richardson. Any speculation on that, Steve? Just for a fun. I have to say Tyler's crushing it. He takes QJ. We let QJ fall, and he took him. Great pick. Sam Darnold gets falling value there, and then Jack Betch. We love him. I do believe you pronounce it Betch, right?
I think so.
Yeah. Well, I want to get it right.
Yeah, I get it. But no, as for the Colts quarterback situation, I think the people will talk about like Justin Fields. I think the smart play could be a more stable vet like Marcus Mariota. I know that
really,
that's not necessarily great, and look, it didn't exactly work out perfectly in Atlanta, but he's just been around. He's also a former top high-end pick, so so was Fields, but Mariota especially at number 2 overall, and he could maybe give some feedback and advice to Anthony Richardson, like, look, like pros are different than college, bud. And so I
can't tap out.
Yeah, just see that. And obviously you can do a lot of the same things. So Fields and Mariota make sense in that regard. So Mariota also had that year with the Eagles, and there was some probably overlap to the offense that Steichen runs, even though I know it was a different offense coordinator. But so that just makes a little sense. But Colts had to figure it out. I mean, maybe it finally clicks with Richardson, but it doesn't look good right now.
Okay, so we have a 2-4-7-3 with 4 picks left, so we'll end up with a 3-5-9-3. So 1 more quarterback, 1 more running back, 2 more receivers. Like Tyler's pick of Jack Betch. He's back on the clock. Let's look and see at the top of the running back board: Chubb, Kendre Miller, Lloyd, Woody Marks. We could do Antonio Gibson as our 5th. I've done that multiple times with May. I don't know if you feel like he could get. Unfortunately, we missed out on like the Justice Hills and that kind of stuff. Can
you look at quarterback real quick?
Yeah, but I think we could wait on that because
Carr is right.
Okay. Do you think there's a chance Carr could get like cut by and then go to the Colts? God, I cannot.
No, I don't think the Colts are bringing in that kind of real starter.
Really?
No,
they should.
I mean, they probably should, but it's the same way Daniel Jones kept getting chances. And that wasn't even the staff that drafted him. They just kept.
I did Bay Dak Carr last night, but I'm fine again if you want to do Carr.
Yeah, no, I think Carr out of all these vets is the most guaranteed to start. There are outcomes where Cousins or Wilson isn't starting. Obviously, Rodgers, he's leaning towards playing, but not official.
I mean, I think you and I went through all the starting jobs. I think Wilson starts. I think Rogers comes back and starts.
Probably, but those types of situations are also likely to have maybe a high end drafted rookie, maybe like Rogers and Jackson Dart, maybe Rogers and Milroe. So it's like that kind of stuff where if it ain't going well, they could be sitting at the end. Same with Russ. I think Carr probably we'll have to see. Probably is good throughout.
Just to interrupt really quick, Josh Palmer is a free agent, correct?
Yeah, and so is Disley.
Okay, that's what I was just checking. Okay, so we are up in 5. Basically, 1 running back and 2 receivers is what we are looking for now that we're done at quarterback and tight end. Didn't get a Charger stack, but I kind of, we're kind of maybe Loveland becomes a Charger. Didn't end up getting any other rookie receivers, which is very atypical for us. We usually get at least 1 or 2 rookie receivers, just didn't fall that way. But top of the receiver board is Asovis, Wilson. Got a sharp room. A lot of people were drafting some good rookies in here, like the Jack Betch, Jaden Higgins, some of our favorite rookie receivers that go later. I don't know what you think at the top of the receiver board or running back board, Steve.
No, I think if he's still there, I'd take Antonio Gibson and just be done with that. I think it really thins out afterwards. I think Gibson and speaking of the underdog show, they were very high on Ramondre Stevenson, and I get the point on Ramondre Stevenson. The offense should be better. They're highly invested in. They're also pretty invested in Antonio Gibson. So this is a team that, despite it being such a strong rookie draft class, if they draft somebody, it's probably like 6th round or later.
Okay, so you don't think either of them are at risk of losing their?
Yeah, I mean, look, they're not on the firmest of ground, but their contracts probably help protect them. And at the end of the year,
because Gibson can't be cut this year, correct?
I mean, any of these guys can be cut. They have the most cap money in the world. They can reset their cap however they want. But
Gibson shouldn't be likely to be cut, correct?
No, I don't think either Stevenson or Gibson will be cut. But unless they really don't like them. It's interesting. Both have history of fumbling issues, but
yeah.
But no, I think Gibson was outplaying Stevenson, especially down the stretch. I know it's a new staff, but even if it goes back to Stevenson 1 and Gibson is the clear number 2, historically Josh McDaniels has had, like pass catching running backs. So I don't, can definitely do that. And so I could see that being a pretty solid role.
Yeah, let me just go to chat really quick. Steph says Besh is the pronouncing. I think the last couple shows I said Beck, and then I realized it was Besh. So thank you for that clarification, because I was like, I want to get this right. I think it's Besh. So she nailed it. And Tyler says lots of snipes happening. Size. Jamie said love the Tillman call. Steve, he's a stud. So yeah, again, we don't know these quarterbacks with these Colts and Browns and that kind of stuff, but we like the receiver talent that we're drafting. So.
Yeah. And look, I mean, I think Richardson will probably start at least half the year, but at some point I do think it gets, they just can't do what they did last year. I mean, 47% completion percentage, all the numbers got worse. And that's with more and more talent around them. So,
well, that's why I wouldn't be, honestly. So we're going to have a mid-round quarterback show that we're taping next, going to be up tomorrow. The late round quarterbacks, Carr being one of the, like you said, the more firm ones, is just let me know if we're coming up. I do want to get to this comment. I'll get to the comment after. Let me go back to the board, because I know at the end of the draft can go a little faster. We only have 2 picks left. The mid-round quarterbacks, there are so many I like in there. And so we're going to do a show. It'll be up tomorrow. The late round quarterbacks, the carousel is going to go flying here. Yeah. I mean, there'll probably be a lot of rumors and a lot of news coming out of the combine, right, Steve? With the
I mean, I think, and we could even see, especially if some of these end up being like trades versus cuts, and some will probably be cuts, but Carr could be a guy who's traded versus just being outright cut.
Please let it somehow be the Colts, and then I have 2 teams just beautifully set up with the Carr double stack.
That would be the worst situation for Carr, because, but no,
why would that be the worst situation for Carr?
Richardson is going to get a shot next year. There's
really?
No question on that. Yeah. It's just when they need to save their jobs, that's when they're going to turn away. but I think Richardson's going to get
so
shot.
unserious.
Again, like it's Daniel Jones, same mobile.
Yeah, but Daniel Jones they signed that dumb contract, so they were stuck trying to
It's the same.
but
But
he's
it's the
still in
same
the rookie
thing.
deal.
But they spent a 4th overall pick. Like you get fired for busting 4th overall picks. So
oh, he's so bad. Okay, let's make this pick and we'll talk about quarterbacks a little more. Tyler got our guy Slayton. Loves the Slayton pick. You want to go Tolbert?
Just scroll down the receivers. I just want to see what's there. Yeah.
I mean, like Tucker. Anything else? Any rookies, late rookies you're seeing?
I like Ricky White.
I mean, Polk, I'm not forcing that.
No.
And we already have so we're on the clock. So Tolbert.
Yeah. I mean, in this range, Naylor, it's gonna. Vikings aren't adding any more receivers, or at least they're unlikely to.
Gabe Davis is unlikely to get cut, right?
No, he's not going to get cut. But if Kirk is retained, Gabe Davis is capped. But hey, for 20th round, Gabe Davis has historically been a great spike week guy. Elijah Moore's a free agent, maybe gets a good landing spot. Trey Tucker should be no worse than 2 or 3 in Vegas.
You said Ricky White is one of the rookies that you like?
Ricky White is a 3rd or 4th rounder. It's tough to know where he'll be because it's a big, massive rookies.
Yeah, and Josh Palmer, he's a free agent, so even though it shows as a highlighted stack, he's not likely. Yeah. I mean, I doubt they'd bring him back. So we'll be back up in 5 picks. So yeah, it'll be a 3-5-9-3. I mean, we weren't able to stack Herbert and we took Carr. Just again, who knows where we'll be. Maybe we'll luck into
somehow
it.
Stays with New Orleans. We have Kamara. So.
That's right. Thank you. If he stays with New Orleans, we do have Kamara. We stacked May with both Gibson and Henry. Excuse me. Maybe Loveland goes to the Chargers. That would be super fun. But yeah, I can't wait to find out where these quarterbacks land because it is going to be quite a carousel. So you said, sorry, I interrupted you as we were kind of queuing up these picks, but you think we will start to get some news out of the combine?
Yeah, I think a couple will get kind of figured out. But yeah, not all of them, that's for sure.
Do you feel like it feels like the Rams news has to fall first and then
probably.
Yeah.
So,
and then once we know that
still could be him staying in LA,
right, which then will shift the dominoes for guys like Rodgers and Darnold and that kind of stuff, because you have to think Rodgers and Darnold are the top 2 for the Rams if Stafford were to not work out a deal, right? I mean, that's at least what the reporting, what good old Diana Rossini and all those people trying to speculate on it.
Yeah, I mean, I could see them interested in Carr as well, as long as it's not prohibitive to acquire. But
right, all right. So, do you have a preference? I have 2 shares of each of the Davis, Naylor, Trey Tucker. Totally up to you. Whatever. I'll leave it up to you for our 20th round pick here.
11 receivers. That's a lot for this guy.
Oh, the guy ahead of us. So he did 2, 5, 11. Well, I guess 1. We'll see what I'm
hoping at least another tight end or 1 tight end is a bold strategy. Honestly, I'm fine with any. I think we're fairly solid at wide receiver.
It's not like any of these are like free agents that could land with the Chargers that move the needle, in any which way. Or could land with Carr because we don't know. So,
my favorite is Tucker, but
that's fine. All right, so we'll do Tucker, and then let the draft finish up, and then we'll go over our draft, Tyler's draft. I don't think we had anybody else in chat. If we missed anybody, please let us know. Steph says Disley is not a free agent, but Palmer is. So,
it's who's the other tight end they have?
I thought Stone Smart is a young guy.
I mean, he is, but I don't think that's
No, I'm saying as far as like guys coming like that would be a free agent. I don't think he would be a free agent. He's on his rookie contract.
He might be. I don't know. I'd have to look. Maybe he's a restricted free agent. No, but the other veteran tight end they had last year, Hayden Hurst.
Oh, Hurst. Yes. Okay, that's it. Hurst is okay. Got it. Tyler says, good luck, all fun stream. Absolutely, Tyler, good luck to you. As so fun. We'll jump through the draft here now super quick. Again, we appreciate everybody joining us on the show, joining us in the draft. Tyler was the only one I think that was able to get in. If somebody else got in and we missed you, please let us know. But we appreciate everybody's comments. To go back to this super quick, that's how we started talking about the mid-round quarterbacks, late-round quarterbacks. He said, I don't like early QB, and we always appreciate he jumps in with chat with us. I think there's a lot of value later, and then more we don't know yet what QB is going to be on a lot of teams. I mean, the nice thing, obviously, the early QB gives you that super high floor combo. So I'm definitely mixing that in my portfolio, but to the point of the show we keep talking about, which we will release tomorrow, is we do love that middle round. And I've been trying to get like 2 in the middle a lot. Especially if I don't get one, I mean, you could certainly get 1 early, 1 middle, 1 late or something like that. Or if you want to do 2, 1 early, 1 middle. But you know, I tend to like do what we did and get like 2 middle and 1 late. Tyler says, don't bother reviewing me. I will do a review. We'll take a quick glance, but just take a quick peeksies. But let me refresh it. But and then Steve and I will go over our team, because unfortunately, I don't think anybody else was able to get in this draft. So let me go to completed here. 19 down. I got 4, 3. It was the war room 4 or 5, Steve? 4?
4 of them. Yeah.
4. It was max 4, right?
Yep.
Okay. So yeah, I have 3 more of those finishing up. All right. So here is our big board. Let's take a quick look at Tyler's 3692. You got Kyler. I like Kyler, Bryce Young, and Sam Darnold. I like that a lot. And then anchored by James Conner, Najee, Tank, Jerome Ford, Marshawn Lloyd, could get that second year bump. And Nick Chubb, Nico, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, Calvin Ridley, Rashad Bateman, QJ. We got Jack Besh, Slayton, Caden Prather, who I know you like as like a late round rookie as well. And then the double elite tight end kind of let him get more quantity on receivers. So I like it, Tyler. No official review other than we like it. And thank you so much for joining us in chat, in the draft. Thanks to Steph and everybody else for joining us in chat. We really appreciate it. We'll just go through our team really quick. Obviously, we intentionally, we did 3-5-9-3, and we were intentional that we did 4 running backs in the first 6 picks. So we were going to kind of do like a hyper fragile version of the 20 round hyper fragile, doing 3-5-9-3. So we got 2 in the middle there, Drake May, Justin Herbert. We're not able to stack Justin Herbert. We did pass on. In hindsight, do you think we should have gotten QJ? I liked Tyler getting the falling value on him, but in hindsight, do you think we should have gotten him, or you're concerned that they are going to draft another weapon? And
I think they're likely to add 2 weapons, so that's my concern with it. And sure, if and
maybe it'll be Colston Loveland.
Yeah, but that's just the thing. Like, last year, Baker Mayfield was my quarterback. Didn't get a stack. I'm okay with it.
Didn't matter. Yeah. He was your hero. Absolute hero. Yeah, no, absolutely. You got falling value on Baker, wasn't able to stack, and he absolutely was your hero and why you finished 4th on the big board. So, so May, Herbert, Carr, and then Genty, my first share of Genty. I've been trying to get him. Kyron Williams, Alvin Kamara, Travion Henderson was our first 4 in the first 6 rounds. 5th tacked on late, Antonio Gibson with the Pats stack. Amon-Ra St. Brown, Xavier Worthy, Josh Downs, Jalen McMillan, Cedric Tillman, Adam Thielen, Alec Pierce, Jalen Tolbert, Trey Tucker as our 9 receivers, and then Isaiah Likely, Colston Loveland, Hunter Henry, of course, stacked with Drake May. So I actually really like it a lot. Like, again, and I like doing, Tyler did the 2 elite tight ends. We did like the 4 running backs in the first 6 rounds. Like, I like mixing up different builds, especially in these 20 round drafts. What do you think, Steve?
Yeah, no, I mean, I definitely like the running back room. And I think most weeks we'll be able to get 3 usable scores from them. So then we got 9 receivers to essentially get us 3 starting spots. And the thing is, a lot of these guys, we got them good mix of guys like Monra and Thielen, who, could be steady eddies, and then these spike week guys. And look, and some, like a guy like Xavier Worthy can obviously be both, but guys like Trey Tucker and Pierce for sure.
Pierce is definitely
these guys can be, have some spike week value, and we'll have to see. And this is why, look, maybe the Cowboys add 2 receivers and Tolbert's not a thing, but he had a solid year last year. I think he's probably no worse than number 3 on that team.
Sure.
And so, kind of same with Trey Tucker. So I like the value that we got. I wouldn't have minded a rookie or 2 there just for a little bit more upside, but it just didn't fall more the way we wanted it.
Yeah, I know, like that the whole like Jaden Higgins, Royals, Besh. Like I know we like getting some of those later ones because those are guys that, like you said, are going to go in the 2nd or 3rd round most likely. It's on day 2, right?
Yeah. I think they're late 2nd, early 3rd round guys. So
yeah. And then as far as some of the early receivers, we've definitely taken our share of Tet McMillan, and your favorite is Luther Burden. Yeah, I need to get more Burden on mine. But yeah, we love the chat. Always good to see Mike, Rob, Tyler, Steph, Huams. If I'm pronouncing that wrong, probably I am. I apologize. Thank you for joining us, Chiato. So many, our guy Jamie, our guy Andrew. So many people join us in chat, and we appreciate you joining us in chat in the draft. Again, make sure you are subscribed to Fanspeak Network. We'll have best ball shows, either live drafts or strategy shows every single day, weekday, and we will have the mid-round quarterback show out tomorrow. Steve in chat. We appreciate you and everybody else in chat. He said, good team, and I like the analysis. Good draft show. I can learn a lot seeing different thought processes. This is my first year on UD. And Chiota, good to see you. Thank you. No, and that's great to hear. That's the whole point of these drafts, is to talk through your process and to do different types of, drafts. We're going to probably start doing some where we, spin a wheel and like kind of try to mix it up, like of the types of styles we're drafting, that kind of stuff, because I think it's good to draft, different, obviously, builds and strategies and talk it through and try to do it the right way. Yes, Nick too. Yes, thank you, Steph and Nick, for joining us. So many fun people joining us. We are very grateful, and we will have tons of best ball content coming your way. But we appreciate you guys joining us in chat and making it fun. So many good fun banter, especially with Nick and Tyler and Steph and Mike Rob. Mike Rob always cracks us up. So. Yes, Steve, final thoughts before we get out of here.
No, good draft. And yeah, I like doing a different format. We still were able to get a lot of our guys. And I like that we could talk about some different guys this time. And some different situations. So yeah, that was always fun and interesting as well.
One of the better comments was Mike Rob saying Cam Scattaboo's family may have a restraining order on the Shoup family because we
passed this time.
We passed this time. We've drafted an alarming amount. Again, two quick reminders on the way out. Road to 500 subs. We should hopefully hit it in March, and we'll have a $500 giveaway party. So help us get there and please join us for the party. Best Ball Overlay. You saw us using it. Use code Fanspeak. You get $10 off a month. Very helpful to manage your portfolio, especially as you're doing volume of drafts. Certainly helped both Steve and I. Steve had 16 best ball finals. Certainly helped him, right, Steve?
Yeah, great system.
Yeah, and then it certainly helped me. I was big on the double anchor build, and it helped me like make sure I was getting the different combos. So absolutely key to managing your portfolio. And I love that I can do it here from the jump in Big Board. So this has been fun as always. Check out the quarterback show tomorrow. And again, we'll be every Thursday, time TBD, but Steve and I will be every Thursday. So we'll hope to see you for playing more Sibling Showdown. So for Steve, I'm Meg. Thank you again for joining us, and we'll see you next time.